won this. I won this. So big, doesn't even fit on camera. The British Indoor Karting Championship 2024 has only one round left. That's the national finals at Warrington, and I'll be there. Between June and August, I set my 3 lap times, a 57.891, a 57.848, and finally a 57.335. When the final update came out, I was almost half a second faster than anyone else. Although it was a little disappointing to only have 10 other competitors, I was pleased to have once more qualified for entry into the local finals at Sheffield. I went out for the practice session in the fastest kart of the fleet and set a new personal best. So fast was that lap that kart was then removed for being too quick. Then came qualifying, where I found some clear track and once again was able to go fastest. Not as fast, but still quick enough to start the final from pole position. For the final, I was allocated a slower kart, one that had me a little bit concerned. I needn't have been though, as after a few laps I found myself able to pull away from the fighting karts behind and take the checkered flag with quite a comfortable lead. I think it's fair to say I'd dominated the local finals and qualified for entry to the regional finals at TeamSport Leicester. I was then able to get to a few members events for some practice in both the old fleet and once again in the brand new second-hand fleet of karts that were sent over from Birmingham just in time for the finals. I felt more confident than last year. I didn't particularly gel with the Coventry track, so I set myself a target of being in the grand final race at the end, meaning I'd be in the top 12, something that I just missed out on last year. Having been split into 2 groups, it was a long wait for qualifying to begin, with the first group of middleweights and then the heavyweight drivers going out before finally the second group of middleweights, that's my group, were then sent out. Emotions were all over the place and I felt quite a lot of pressure when several people told me that Kart 20 was the fastest in the fleet. Guess what car I'd been allocated? Yeah, I was last onto the track and I backed right off, leaving what I thought was plenty of space ahead. Having made many mistakes in my first laps, I started to get a little concerned as I found myself running out of clear track. Having waved Adam back through again, I tried to pull myself together and back into focus. Finally, I set a fairly decent lap. If that was the fastest I went, that would have put me mid-pack, but the kart still has more. I just need to drive good. Unfortunately, this lap is interrupted by the appearance of a yellow flag, possibly for that slow-moving kart trying to find their own clear bit of track. And then the lap times begin to fall again. This one would have put me third fastest. And this one, well, it was quick enough to go second. But I've got traffic now ahead. There's a little space behind me though, so I try and open up that gap once again. Here we go then, a lap 13. My fastest qualifying lap. I'm late on the brakes into turn 2, and then early into turn 4. But the rest of it is pretty straightforward and tidy. And across the line with a 36.870. I'll leave the rest of qualifying to play out, but feel free to skip forward if you'd like to. I eventually did get stuck in traffic, and although there were some quick lap times, I wasn't able to improve at all. If you found that qualifying lap exciting, please hit that like button below for me. It helps YouTube to understand the sort of people that like to watch my videos. That's you guys. having taken the checkered flag, unlike you with my handy overlay on screen, I just don't know how I'd done. I felt I'd been held up by the traffic a bit too much and didn't get any tidy laps in early on. But as I enter the pit lane, I see I'm being shown the number one finger and I'm more in shock than anything else. And then, a few moments later, it seems to settle in my head. I'd done it. From here on out, it was just about defence. We're out of the carts and ready to be weighed, and now my excitement turns to the fact that we're using different scales to Sheffield.
Oh, different scales.
Drivers, stay here, you need to weigh in.
You've got 36. Cheers, man.
Having weighed in a little lower than I was expecting, but still very much on the heavy end for a middleweight driver, let's take a look at the final times. For the first group, Joel had set the only 36-second lap, with the rest of the group fairly close behind.
I didn't think I could do that. I got in so much traffic, I just couldn't.
I was the only driver able to break into the 36-second laps in our group, although Gary and Numan gave it a very good try. Over all our 9 drivers, we've got a spread of 0.8 of a second, so this should make for 2 very close heats then. Unfortunately, being at the front, this is where the video begins to get a little boring from a viewer's point of view. We're starting with a 10-minute heat, which starts in the order we qualified in, and we'll be starting with a rolling start. So here's James to explain.
Okay, Robert, so from here, firstly, well done, pole position, okay. From here, just roll away nice and smoothly. Keep the speed nice and level, just above walking pace is perfect.
Yep.
As we come around onto the back straight there, approaching the bank corner, just look for the light box on the right-hand side towards the end. Once we get all the guys on the straight and we're happy with what they're doing, we're going green and we're off and racing, okay?
Yep,
good luck.
good.
Right.
Let's go racing. Quick check through the hairpin to make sure everyone is in formation. There's the green flag, so away we go. I'm looking around to see if I need to defend from Gary, but I'm unsure at this stage. I take a mildly defensive line through the teardrop top corner. From there, it was a case of just keep a little gap to Gary and hope he doesn't go for any dive bombs. It would be a rather silly move from him, so I doubted it though. I seem to be really struggling with the braking for the hairpins at turns 2 and 4. But thankfully, the rest of the lap was usually pretty tidy, so it didn't seem to affect me too much. Other than that very brief yellow flag on lap 8, it was then a pretty straightforward race for me. Starting first, finish first, make it look easy with not a lot of pressure from the drivers behind. I give a fist bump to Gary, then return to the pits to be weighed in once more. Meanwhile, let's look at those final positions. Some places were changed in Group 1, with Ash unfortunately falling to the back from 4th place. In our group, there were a couple of places changed further down the field, and Numan went fastest, keeping the pressure on Gary for me. We'll be starting Heat 2 in this finishing order. I get kart 15 for Heat 2. I'd seen others initially struggle before pulling away with a huge lead, and I'm of course hoping to do the same. Here's James again.
Okay, Robert, exactly the same as before, that was sweet, okay?
Yeah.
Good luck, on you go.
Simple, really. The green flag drops, it's time to race. I'll leave this heat to play out in full, but it is very much the same story as Heat 1. That was it. Start first, finish first, make it look easy as you don't have pressure to defend from the cars behind. The same story and a nice simple one, really. Just not great for YouTube. The results from Group 1 were good for me. Joel found himself in 3rd place right at the end after failing to defend properly up the top, and those are his own words. Having finished 9th in Heat 1, Ash chose not to take any further part. We had some changes to the back in our group as Sam fell towards last place. So next up comes the semi-finals. Panic now really sets in. I'm in kart 5, the slowest kart of the fleet. Joel is starting behind me in a much better kart, number 10. One slight mistake and I'll be in trouble. If Joel gets the slightest sniff at a pass, he'll be going for it. Let's go to James once more.
Okay, so same as before, we've got 12 minutes in this one. Okay.
Yep.
License down, drivers.
Green lights and away we go. The top 6 of this race will join the top 6 from the other semi-final race and into the grand final. That was my target for today, but perhaps I need to be aiming a bit higher now. Despite looking like I'd started to pull a gap at the start, it wasn't long before Joel was all over the back of me. I was having to look over my shoulder at every opportunity. Where was he looking for the gap and where was he close enough to try and pass me? I was trying to be unpredictable, not taking the exact same line on every lap, trying to put Joel off and most importantly, not give him any opportunity to get in front. Corner exit speeds were important. With the missing pace of this car, I needed to keep my minimum speeds as high as I possibly could. For the first time on this lap, I felt the need to go super defensive into turn 2. Joel just felt that little bit closer. I go defensive again at turn 4 just in case. And then coming out of the banked hairpin and he's drawing alongside me. His kart is very much faster than mine. He cuts to the inside but can't get far enough alongside. I'm safe for another lap. Once again, he's pulling alongside, but he's on the outside, so there is little Joel can do for the moment. A bit of relief for me as Joel has dropped back slightly, probably to refocus and go for another push. There's a bang on the barriers behind. Johnny, having started in 4th, has just made his way into 3rd place. If he starts fighting for 2nd too, that might just help me out. Joel's alongside again, actually showing on camera for a split second this time. It's the closest he's been so far to getting in front. More crashing behind. Is that Johnny and Joel? I'm hoping so. The gap begins to form. It's time to push hard now. Squeeze everything this car has to offer. A 37.2 is pretty good for this one, and I don't think I can get much more from it. That's now two 37.2s. That must be it for this car. As I started to push it, the lap becomes more untidy. But no, apparently I can get it quicker. That lap time surprised me and a few others. I know I couldn't repeat it. The rest of the laps were very much more expected, the 37.2s and 1s. Thankfully, Johnny continued to keep the pressure on Joel, leaving me with a small but comfortable gap up ahead. Apparently, I make this sound. I head back to the pits to congratulate Joel for a good battle and get myself weighed once more. And here is how both groups finished. So I guess that leaves just one more to go then. I've completed my aim of making it into the top 12 and the grand final, but I've exceeded that somewhat too by starting on pole. It's going to be much the same, a rather boring bit of video, I'm afraid. I've got Cav starting behind me this time. It's another Sheffield driver, so hopefully we can work together and keep Joel in third place. Gary is starting in fourth. He's another Sheffield driver, so it would be nice if he can find his way forward as well. The top three finishers of this race will be heading to Warrington for the national finals on the 10th of November. For the final time then, here's James.
Okay, Robert. Exactly the same as the previous races. Just watch for that light. Just drive your race and good luck, okay? Okay. Good luck, everyone. Have a good race. Nice and snap.
I look behind on the straight and I've got a comfortable lead. It's a good start. And that comfortable lead remains over the next couple of laps. Until it doesn't. The yellow flag appears, soon turning red instead. We're lined back up. I've got to do it all over again. I lied before, here's James again, this for the final time.
Okay, that's a red flag because the car was buried under the tyres there. We're going to unpause when we get back around to there again. Okay. Get license down.
Okay, let's go. It's not quite as good as the first time, but I'm happy enough with that. And from here on out, it's the same story as the other races once again. Really bad for a YouTuber, but a good race for a racer. If you're enjoying this really bad video, but are feeling great about my performance, please subscribe to the channel. I've got more of this sort of stuff coming, and I'm getting much closer to working out a solution for showing what's actually happening behind me. And there it is. Here comes that sound again. And here's the final results. Congratulations all around, and one final weigh-in.
Well done, mate. Well done, cracking. Well done.
What about Gary, Johnny? Cav? Where's Cav? I just need the top 5. Cav? Perfect. Rob, get on for me.
Yep, I'm still heavy.
Rob, smashed it today, mate. Congratulations.
Cheers, man. Thank you.
And then just some time for some more congratulations.
Oh. Thanks, man.
You did that one first.
Oh. You get them as well, don't worry. Tom's going for a hug. Oh, yeah.
I can see that happening.
Did you just turn it off?
No, not yet.
But that's it. Watching that final clip back again actually brought some tears back to my eyes. I still can't believe it. It's been 5 days now. I've even been back in the karts at Sheffield last night. It doesn't sound true. I'm a regional champion. Congratulations, of course, to Cav and Joel for their 2nd and 3rd place finishes. I look forward to racing you again very soon. Sheffield did pretty well, with Martin taking 1st place for the heavyweights and Kaya through to Warrington in the lightweights as well. Thank you, everyone. I get a lot of support, both trackside and online, particularly on a day like today. Unfortunately, I can't have my family around me on the day, but I know I've got all the love and support from home, and equally from all of you watching. It really does mean so much to me, and I just can't quite put it into words. It looks like I'll only get one practice at Warrington before the national finals, so I'm obviously not as hopeful, but I'll be giving it everything regardless. If you're there on the day, come say hi. I believe the finals are live streamed on YouTube too, so I hope to hear you cheering from wherever you are in the world. There will be some other videos between now and the national finals, which once again I'll get out as quickly as possible. So until then, as always, cheers.